I want to make these videos as helpful and useful as possible to you. So 2 things to talk about today. Number 1, your direct mail appeal for year end. If you've already sent it, are you going to send a second one? And then I want to talk about emails. How many emails do you have scheduled for year end? And then 2, quick, like 3 minutes, I wanted to run through a direct mail appeal with you. I think just repetition is really helpful to see real pieces of direct mail and have someone quickly audit them. So first, let's head in to your year-end appeal. My question for you is this: do you send 1 at year-end? Do you send 2? Could you even send 3? So November and December are the year-end season. Let's say you sent an appeal November 10. It is appropriate to send a second appeal the first week of December. Ultimately, your donors are getting so much mail at this time, and because 40% or up to 40% of year-end giving occurs in December, you need to be front and center. That's why we have to maximize direct mail and email. If I were you, I'd be asking, okay, Danielle, sure, I can send another one, but what do I say? And who do I send it to? So let me tell you, the second appeal you send can be very, very, very similar to your first appeal. What I would do, I would pull out the donors who have already given, and I would send a second appeal to those who have not. Now, you could tweak the first line of your appeal. If you can, this is certainly what I would do. I would certainly change the outer envelope. Statistically, you likely sent your year-end appeal in a number 10 white envelope, which everyone is getting. Bare minimum, can you just get a different color? Could you send in a totally red envelope? That would be good. Could you, now, if you have a match, you can put like, your dollar will be tripled, or your 1 meal will become 3 meals. Teasers like that do well on the outer envelope. But if you don't have a match, just don't put a teaser on the outer envelope. Now, okay, John Lepp's book, I'm working my way through it, Creative Deviations. Oh, it's so good. It's like, I think it's like the Bible. It's the Bible of direct mail. So he talks about using nostalgia. I'll put up a picture just now. Using nostalgia that resonates with your donor might be a really good way to get your piece of mail open. But again, I know we're at year end. It's a race to the finish line, so just resend your letter to keep everything else the same. You can change a couple things. Let's say you want to change a picture, the same picture caption, use like a similar photo that you used before, but it just looks different. Change a couple things, but keep it all the same. You could literally send the exact same one. I guarantee you, even if they opened your letter and they didn't give, they're not going to remember what you said the first time. You really, you think because you put all this work into it, people actually remember things you say. They don't. People tend to remember how you made them feel. So if you made them feel horrified or like, ugh, then they'll remember you. But letters don't really have that power unless you're a really good copywriter. And if you are making people feel disgust or something, use that to your advantage so they give a gift. So anyways, they're not going to remember what you said. Send the same appeal. Ultimately, you have to assume people want to give. That's why they're engaged with you. That's why they know you. They want to help. Now let's talk about emails. How do you structure emails? You should have, the Better Fundraising Company always recommends having a chaser email. That just means when your letter lands in the mailbox, you also have an email landing in their email inbox around within a 2-day window. So the same day or the next day. You want those to synchronize, and you want your email to very much like mirror the letter itself. Again, repetition is what's going to get you a gift and engender trust. Word of caution about your emails, please, in the subject line, don't scream, I'm asking you for a gift, unless you have a double, like you have a match, or you're in the final days of the year or final hours of the year. That's when urgency works. If you're saying there's urgency and you're at the beginning of December, that's not urgent. So this is what I would do. I would treat the email subject line very similarly to the way you would treat the envelope teaser. Think about it a lot. If you don't get it right, you're not gonna get opened. So let's say, well, I have an appeal going out, what's today? It'll go out Friday. So I'm gonna send an email that lands in my donors' email inboxes on the same day. Hopefully they get the letter. What am I going to say? I'm not going to say, little child needs your help, please donate now. I would say something like, I thought you'd want to know, or you're going to want to see this. Something that makes the donor feel like it's one-to-one and makes them want to open the email. Something else I might say is, she needs your help. It would be all lowercase and it would pertain to the story. So I'm just shortening the direct mail appeal, putting it into an email. And then the final 3 days of the year, what I like to do, and again, Stephen Screen and Jeff Brooks, the Better Fundraising Company, they've always done a series of 3 or 4 emails at year end, the 29th, 30th, and 31st. AM and PM, what I do on the AM and PM is I do an auto resend. Those who didn't open it in the morning, I'll resend in the evening. And on the 31st, I will use something that taps into urgency. If we're similar, you're thinking, oh no, like, well, how do I know when I'm sending too much? Like, what's too much? Well, this will relieve you. The biggest, most successful organizations send anywhere between 10 and 12, they send between 12 and 16 asks via mail per year. They also send between 3 and 6 like newsletters, which basically include 3 to 4 stories of impact, short, easy to read with a soft ask at the end. They have a very robust email system, and they'll send, 2 appeals a month. So ultimately, I would not worry about bothering your donors. If you get a few unsubscribes, not a big deal. That's fine. Expect it. If you get pushback from your board, they're not you. They don't do direct mail. Let's say a major donor gets annoyed. Tell them you love them. No problem. We'll take you off. We want to make sure we respect exactly what you want. We're so grateful for you. And an apology, y'all. If you can apologize, that is the best way to engender trust and deepen a relationship. Last 2 things, and then we'll get to the letter. Segmentation is your bestie. So mass donors should likely receive like your big list. They should likely receive all your appeals. I would say major donors, you would shrink that down quite a bit. Maybe send them 1/3 of what you send out. I don't think you should ever pull your major donors out of your direct mailings. You would just reduce the amount of mail you send to them and make sure you're always acknowledging the contribution that they've made. So a cover letter is really good. And then segmentation, so if someone gave in November, you could pull them out of the December letter, but then I would add them back in for the final days of the year in the emails and have a small sentence that says, if you've already given, thank you. Don't put it at the top, just put it in the middle, but you could always ask again. The likelihood of getting a second gift is highest in the 45 days following the initial gift. So let's talk about the letter. This is from World Orphans. I'm gonna put it up on this screen and I'm gonna look at my laptop and put it for you to see. All right, so you'll see the outer envelope has a teaser that says a message from our president and a gift for you. And it says Merry Christmas. This is a good teaser. So there's a gift for you, very me-centered. I think you could probably toy around. When you say our president, it sounds really, really formal. So I think it would be better to say my message to you or something like an important message and a gift for you. That's what I might say. Our president, nobody cares necessarily about the president, but they really do care about the work this organization does. So I say good job on the teaser. It is in a light blue, which is hard to read. I think they could get it. I think the most important part is your gift. So like a message and a gift. I would make that much bigger. This is very tiny print, and this blue can be kind of hard to read for older donors. But again, I'm being a little bit nitpicky, but let's get into the letter. Okay, so the letter, I really would like to take out all their accomplishments. The first sentence, okay, it's not too difficult to read. As we come to the close of our 30th year in ministry, there's much to celebrate. So it's not like freaking long, but it is just meaningless. So there's much to celebrate. 30th year, your donors don't care about how many years you've been around. Yes, it does engender trust, but you don't want to put that in your fundraising letter. Literally, they're telling me how great they are, and I love this organization. Love them, love what they do. It's super important. So I'm not hiding on them. I'm just saying, it's just like they're talking about what they do, blah, 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 blah. They're getting so much stuff like this. So let me give them props. They use some bullet points, but in the bullet point, they talk about all they did. This should be going in a donor thank you letter, like, thank you for your gift, Danielle. Your gift is going to help 20 women get the skills they need to have training programs. Don't use the word vocational. Nobody knows what that means. Your gift will do that. Use that to thank me, or in a newsletter. And then on top of that, they're saying we're confident we're going to see great things. Why do you need my gift? I say your support is vital. It always has been. It always will be. Just ask me for a gift. Literally, this entire thing needs to be erased. They finally at the bottom say, will you consider making a year-end donation to World Orphans? It's the only bolded sentence, so at least they bolded that. But don't ask for consideration, ask for a gift. Don't ask for prayer, ask for a gift. You should know that by now. A donation to World Orphans, it would be far better by saying, what is one meaningful thing my gift will do? And then they say your gift is vital to have this continue. They don't know that that's not what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to say that your work's going to continue no matter what. You're supposed to tell them, donor, if I don't get your gift, this work cannot continue. Which it can't. That's very true. So yeah, they should erase the whole thing. And they should have only sent a letter that says, donor, will you please make a gift today to save one child who's a refugee and give them shelter and food for a night. Signed, Scott. That should be it. Because the whole thing is a waste. They're just telling me all the things they're doing, it's going to continue. And at the very, 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 very bottom, there's not even a PS at the very bottom. They just say, hey, will you consider? So they also, oh yes, and then they do include a freemiums. Now, freemiums are very interesting because they are worth it if they increase response rates, or if they increase average gift size, or help with retention. Mary from Hands On Fundraising has said something around the lines of, you know, calendars are nice, but you can only use so many calendars. So again, like I think most people will send a calendar, then there's stickers, and like 6.6% of premiums are actually bookmarks. Jeff Brooks has said that freemiums tend to bring in donors who are retained at lower rates. Freemiums are most effective if you can keep them simple, low cost. And this is a bookmark. Now I think this is smart because it's probably very low cost, and it's going to be put in a book somewhere. And if you're lucky, it'll be put in a book that the donor reads, so it'll be front and center. However, you're just going to have to test your own freemiums. I think what would be better is using money to make your mail lumpy, like using a paper clip. I'll show you a picture in John Lepp's book. Spend that money making the mail lumpy so it's open with paper clips, or use them in a thank you. I don't know. There's a lot of things I would change about this. But again, I'm actually looking at it for the first time with you, so I don't do prep on these. So if you see things I've missed, feel free to leave them in the comments because I'd love to hear from you. And this wasn't exhaustive. I might as well talk about it together. There's nothing on the back. There's not a PS. They didn't customize gift ask amounts for me. There is no dollar amount to do one meaningful thing. But yeah, so that's that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Real quick, you can skip this if you already know me, but my name's Danielle Wallace. I'm the owner of Grow Better. I help small to slow down. I help small to mid-sized nonprofits optimize their fundraising results. We take a global look at all you do. We do an assessment, and then we just get to work on direct mail, email, major donors, all of that. So I know we're at year end. If you want me to review your year-end email sequence, I offer that as just like a package. Like I'll do that for you because I know not everyone wants to hire a consultant, but you would benefit from me looking at your year-end email sequence, and I'd love to help. So anyways, thanks for your time, and we will talk soon.